Hey guys, and welcome to this edition of Scruff's Garage. Today should be a fun video. I'm doing a follow-up on a video that I did not quite a year ago when I bought a Harbor Freight Solvent Tank parts washer. And I did a video about 4 upgrades or modifications that you can make to the Solvent Tank to make it function a little better, make it a little bit more mobile, help the solvent last a little longer. So I thought this would be the good time to do a follow-up video just so you can get an idea of how well some of these modifications held up and whether or not they're worth doing if you've got a solvent tank that you're going to do. Over the last year, certainly if you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen I've been rebuilding an engine in my Corvette. So I used this solvent tank pretty extensively over the last year. I really cleaned a lot of really nasty oily engine parts in here, so I can't say enough good things about having a solvent tank. Having it set up, easy access, I installed a light over it so you can come over here, clean something while you've got something apart without having to move stuff around. Having a solvent tank is really nice, so I can't say enough good things about that. A few of the things that I did in that upgrade video, if you haven't seen it, I suggest going back and watching it because I go into a little bit more detail. One of the things I did was add this little gasket around the lid because the solvent I'm running or using is the PSC1000, which is like a petroleum-based solvent as opposed to a water-based solvent, and it has a smell to it, and obviously you don't want your garage stinking like solvent every time you come out here. It can give you headaches and that sort of thing. So I added this gasket, which was just a standard, like you go to Lowe's and it's like weather stripping to go around like your windows in the house. It's nothing special. It's certainly not like chemical resistant. I got a couple of questions about that. But honestly, it works excellent. Unless you have the lid open, if the lid's closed, you don't smell the solvent at all in the garage, which is excellent. I make a point that when I'm done cleaning whatever I'm going to do, I try to wipe down particularly this upper surface here. That way there's no solvent sitting on here. In doing so, this gasket is held up very well. Absolutely no issues. It's still adhered to the lid. I haven't had to replace it. So if you take care of it, this will hold up no problems. You don't have to buy anything special. I also put the let's see. Also put the solvent tank on the little dolly down here. I don't have to move it far very often, but the ability to pull it out from the wall to get the light, you know, shining correctly. There's the light I did. Or if you drop something down behind it, just the ability to move it a little bit is pretty nice. So that's definitely worthwhile. And of course, the other two things I did, I hooked up it's a remote engine oil filter adapter, and it runs the solvent through the oil filter before it pumps it into the tank, and so that helps clean any particles out of the solvent, helps it stay cleaner longer. So that's really the focus of today's video. I'm going to change that filter and then we can talk. I've got a tool to actually cut open the canister on the oil filter, and we'll see how well it's holding up, because I got a lot of questions about, you know, will an automotive oil filter that's designed for, you know, a car engine, will it hold up to the solvent, or is it going to come apart and get gummy in there? And I can already say I still get really good flow. I think this, right? So there's been no reduction in the amount of solvent that flows through it at any point in its life. So I don't think that it's clogged. I'm changing it just for the sake of changing it. I'm finished with my big engine project, and I know a bunch of people wanted to see how that filter held up. And of course, the other thing, we put a drain valve in the bottom of the tank to make it a little bit easier to drain all the solvent. I'm sure you probably can't see this very well, but you know, all that gunky nasty stuff that you clean off of an engine part, all the oily residue settles to the bottom of the tank. So I'm going to clean that out as well. So I'm going to drain all the solvent. We'll change the oil filter. We'll clean out the bottom of the tank. And I don't know if I showed you last time, but I added this green Brillo pad in front of this. Is the sump for the pump. So it draws in the solvent from down there. The pump's in there, and of course it comes out. There's a filter that comes with the tank. That's like a little white mesh filter that's in this. So we'll take a look at that. Also added this green Brillo pre-screen filter, if you want to call it that. It's just something I made. So that if there were any big chunks in here, that was just another screen to help clean the solvent of any large particles of debris before it got into the pump. So I'd say over the past year, even though I'm running the PSC1000 Solvent, this pump is technically rated for a water-based solvent, I haven't had any issues out of it. 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe it will shorten the life of the pump, but I've used it pretty extensively over the past year, and I haven't had any issues with it. So it so far is holding up well, and our filter system seems to be doing okay too. But all right, we'll move on with this. I'll show you how I'm going to drain the tank, and then we'll change the filter as well. All right, to drain the tank, just take a piece of 3/8 fuel line, or honestly, for purposes of this, any sort of tubing doesn't have to be fuel line because you're not going to run this long term. But 3/8 line, hook it up to the drain port, and then actually save some of the old canisters that the PSC1000 came in. So I'm just going to drain it back into there. We'll see. I'm not really sure how much is still in the tank, in the basin here. I'm sure some has evaporated off over the years. So I have a second tank that actually still has a little bit of clean fluid, PSC1000 solvent, still in it. So I'll just have to see if it fills up this 5-gallon thing, and if I need a little overflow, I could use that as well. So there we go. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, so here's a tip. I noticed as this was draining, every so often I'd see like a black greasy chunk come flowing through, and I realized that as it's draining down and pulling the solvent towards the drain port, all that greasy gunk that's on the bottom surface in here, it's slowly pulling it towards the drain, and I'd rather not have that. I'd rather filter that out. So anyway, I took some of a piece of this green Scotch pad, Brillo pad, whatever you want to call this, and just cut a little section of it, and I laid it over the drain port inside on the floor of the tank in here. And then when you turn the valve on, there's a little bit of suction, and it actually holds this in place. So this helps filter out any of the big gunky stuff that's sitting in the bottom of the tank. So when you drain it, hopefully we don't get some of that stuff. We can filter it out as it drains. So there's a tip. Okay, so I finished draining all the solvent that I can get out of it. I could show you without dropping my camera. There's that Brillo pad I covered the drain port with, and you see all this black gunky stuff here in the bottom. That helped keep that from draining into the solvent buckets that I was draining the fluid out. So now we need to clean all this stuff out. This is I don't know, pretty nasty. You can see all the greasy engine parts that I've cleaned with this thing. So I'm going to work on a way of getting this stuff out, and we'll have to throw this away. This is not anything that can be saved, and we'll keep moving. Okay, so I've got the solvent tank cleaned out. So after I finished draining all of the reusable, we'll call it clean solvent, into the two metal jugs, there was still a bunch of crap left in the bottom of the tank. So I wedged in this bucket for like recycled oil and that sort of thing. I kind of wedged it in here. The gunk that was in here was too goopy to flow through the 3/8 fuel hose into a container. So it was easier just to wedge this bucket under there, directly under the drain, and then I just kind of scraped that goop into the to the drain port and kind of worked it down. Also lift up on the pump and sump tank thing here. Goop gets below it and behind it as well, so kind of clean that out. And then like I said, I pulled off the two filters. So this white filter, well, it used to be white, actually goes on the inside of this case up against this. This is what comes with the solvent tank. And then this is the green Scotch-Brite pad, Brillo pad, whatever you want to call it, that I added to the front of it. And neither of these are tremendously dirty, so that's a good sign. I think that's probably helping the pump last longer. The heavy goopy stuff is settling to the bottom of the tank and not getting picked up by the pump, so that helps. And that means all that has to be filtered by the oil filter is just the suspended particles in the solvent. So that's what we'll change next. We'll take this filter off and then we'll cut it open and see how that looks on the inside. Okay, now we're going to take the oil filter off. I've got a bucket under here because I'm sure there'll be some fluid to drain out. I will try not to let that get all over the garage floor. There we go. Now I was smart enough, when I bought the first filter, I went ahead and bought two of them. Alright, that should be good and tight. Alright, so I'm going to drain the this old filter is full of solvent, so I'm going to drain that out, and then we'll take it over to the workbench and we'll cut it open. Okay, so we're over at the workbench. So this is a tool to cut open oil filters, and it's like a giant can opener essentially. Yeah, if you haven't seen one, there's just two little wheels on this end to help rotate it, and then there's a cutting blade here, and we'll slowly tighten it as we spin it. Right, so it fits on the oil filter like that. You can see the cutting blade in there. So you give it a little tighten, then we spin it, tighten, spin, tighten. And voila, that's how you cut open an oil filter. There's your anti-drainback valve. There's our filter. Still some fluid in here. apologize if you hear the buzzing. Someone's calling my phone, but we'll have to talk to them later. So a little bit of gunk in the bottom, but not really. Then the filter itself, yeah, honestly, very clean. I mean, there's a little gunk in the bottom, but you know, it's all holding together very well. Certainly not plugged up. Could have run this filter, I don't know, forever. Honestly, yeah, I don't see anything in here that would prevent this filter from going a long time. It's certainly holding up to the solvent. It's not breaking down. The glue seems to be, you know, there's glue that holds it to the top and bottom caps. That's all still tight, doesn't seem to be coming apart. Yeah, so in my experience then, an automotive oil filter will work just fine for filtering petroleum-based solvent, and I imagine it would do just fine with a water-based solvent as well, but that's just not what I'm running. So I give this a pass. It's holding up very well. Alright, so our final step is to pour the solvent that we recovered back into the tank. Final step is filling the solvent tank with the recovered solvent. Make sure you wear safety glasses, because when you pour this, at least out of these, it tends to splash. There we go. That should do it. Then we can put can put our tray back in there. Then of course test run it. Make sure you don't have any leaks where you change the filter or something like that. There we go. So thanks for tuning in to Scruff's Garage. I hope you appreciated this video, found it helpful. If you have a Harbor Freight solvent tank, or even if it's a different brand, doing some of these modifications really helps the solvent last longer, keeps the fumes down, makes it mobile. All of which I give an A+. I'm really happy with all of those ideas. That oil filter seems to be holding up well to the solvent. So overall, I think this was a pass. So let me know what you think, or if you do something different with your solvent tank. I'm always interested to hear new ideas. And lastly, I do ask that you like and subscribe to the videos. That helps me a lot on YouTube. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the content. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Scruff's Garage.